Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, we're still working on our large industrial development plan. We're still working on getting private health insurance enacted. We've got a labor movement that's pretty radical at this stage. Egypt withdraws from the Giza Convention. Treaty is no longer binding, but what was that? Was that just a free trade pact between me and them? Curious. Anyway. Does that decay relations, actually, is a question. Doesn't seem like it does. I've got some influence to play with. Let's be better friends. I think it probably does. I'm improving relations with a lot of people. Where am I getting all this influence from? I guess I've got a lot of rivalries, especially with Austria. Opposition members put forth demands. More pragmatically inclined members of the Catholic Church, currently opposed to the passing of private health insurance, have offered to change their stance where they'd be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the industrialists, however. Compromise makes for a good umbrella, but a poor roof. It is a temporary expedient, often wise in party politics, almost sure to be unwise in statesmanship. The industrialists are very happy. I can acquiesce to their demands. The bill must pass. This is extra enactment chance, 10% of it, so quite a bit. Industrialists very salty, -3 for 5 years. Compromise is a tool of the weak. Reduce enactment time by 15%. Reduce enactment chance by 5%. Industrialists happier, +1. Or a prime opportunity to break the bill from deadlock. One entire phase, 15% enactment time increase due to long-term sacrifices. Industrialists furious, -6. I'm going to go with the first one. 10% enactment chance is almost always the right thing to do from there. We got a diplomatic play between Montenegro and the Ottoman Empire. That's curious. Return Karadag. Montenegro is fearful. This is Karadag, so that's Montenegro proper. Curious. I wonder what could come of this. Montenegro, what's going on with you? None of this seems useful to me. I'm going to leave that for now. Speaking of which, speaking of things being useful, what other stuff can I get up to? I'm getting Zulu down there in Liberty Desire. Transvaal is continuing to... they're mid. They're mid in terms of Liberty Desire. They're quite entangled with us economically. Relations are good. We're currently improving them. That's right. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've played. Not that long, but a little long. Right, and they're part of my customs union, my power block. Okay, I'm going to leave things be for now. I don't think I'm necessarily going to go after any additional... Oh, interesting. Great Britain conquered all of Oman. You guys are getting a lot of... They didn't get a lot of infamy out of it. Maybe it was a while ago, and I just haven't been paying very close attention. Why is this highlight? Okay, that's the protectorate icon. It just says grant independence. Alright, weird. Curious. Curious and curious. Alright. We are improving our supply of steel in the market. It's still pretty expensive. But let's go ahead and... Glass is doing okay. Let's go ahead and increase some more of these production methods. Let's grab Lazio and Lombardy next. The big one's Piedmont, where there's a lot of construction capacity. And that's going to really change up the structure of the costs here. But as you can see, we're steadily increasing the amount of construction available to the government. And that is both increasing costs and increasing the number of things that I can build at once. Montenegro backs down. Okay, curious. quite curious. I guess it is what it is. Popular playwright endorses reform, an advance event. In the midst of the debate surrounding private health insurance, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the industrialists, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Private health insurance will be on everyone's lips now, an additional 10% success chance. This sure puts the industrialists in a good light, stronger industrialists. Or, let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience, 20 prestige. Where am I in the prestige tracker? I am at 900. It's really Great Britain who's winning out here in the prestige game. They've kind of steamrolled everyone else and are way out ahead. Mostly due to Navy power projection and from being leading goods producer. Well, not that much. They're getting a lot of GDP from subjects as well. Are they? How much power projection are they getting from subjects? Because that's mostly none. It's mostly GDP. Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, I think once again we're gonna have to sort of single-handedly break India off the empire if we're gonna actually be able to get ahead. All right. In any case, I'm gonna go with the enactment success chance. I think that's just a useful thing to have. Oh my gosh, did they get Japan? They didn't get Japan. Alright. I thought they might have gotten Japan. Game is running a little slow. Game's running a little slow right now. A doctrine of iron and steam. The introduction of vessels with metal-skinned hulls represents nothing less than a revolution in naval warfare. Near impervious to traditional types of shot, Admiral Ambrogio de Calabiana assures us that the Italian dominion of the seas will be absolute. While wooden ships with iron men might beat iron ships with wooden men, it sure doesn't hurt to have the armor on our side. This will make our line of battle invincible, 10% Navy defense. Metal prows, metal rams, what could go wrong? 20% increased offense, 10% reduced defense. Or Italy rules the waves, extra prestige from Navy power projection. I'm going to go with the first one. A bonus with no penalty, that seems like the right call. Let's take a look at our fleet. Defense is 40, attack is 33. So that's pretty good overall. And there is dynamite finally. Let's get our buildings, let's get our explosives plants producing on the new production method. And let's get our mines using the new explosives. It's going to make them much more productive. It's also going to make them a lot safer, because nitro is extremely unstable. We're also going to get our munitions plants building. Why do these munitions plants keep downsizing? These munitions plants keep downsizing. I'm going to monopolize these. Okay, what's going on here? Ah. All right, hold on. Yeah, I think that's the issue. I think these plants keep downsizing, and I'm so they're getting sized back down, and then when a war pops off, I don't have enough munitions. That's curious. Yeah, because I remembered I was building up levels. Yeah, okay. Interesting. All right. So what's going on here? What's going on here? They want to take Saxony as a protectorate, and Saxony wants the return of Rhineland, which is here. France is joined, and the Prussians want to conquer Alsace-Lorraine, revoke the French claim on Rhineland, and humiliate France. Prussia supports the Russia supports the Prussians, as does Hesse-Kassel, Holstein, the Baltic Governorates, the Russian-American Company, Finland. So all of Russia's subjects, Herat and Hohenzollern. Supporting the Saxons are the French and their subjects Tahiti and French Senegal. Interesting. So, what is this? Oh, interesting. I may have missed this with the silk earlier. Because I know we're producing Como silk. I didn't realize there's a whole event for this. Okay, so let me read this and then we'll go back to the diplomatic play. Stylish furniture journal entry. Lazio Home Goods has established itself as an important actor within our economy. The company seeks to leverage its current prosperity to develop its own brand of stylish furniture. If successful, it will be able to expand its competitors within the global furniture. It will be able to expand its competitiveness within the global furniture market. Will complete if the following state of affairs needs to be maintained for 36 months. Lazio Home Goods is prosperous, and Italian production rating for furniture is in the top 3. If completed, Lazio Home Goods will be able to produce stylish furniture. So, that necessitates a large a large expansion of industrial production of furniture. So, that's something to keep in mind. Now, if this pops off, Prussia will take Saxony as a protectorate. It can get Alsace-Lorraine from France, and humiliate the French. None of that seems particularly problematic for me. Saxony does seem worried. The Prussians are a little weak. Where are the British? The British are likely to side with Prussia if they can find something they want. Spanish are likely to side with the Saxons. What about Austria? Austria is likely to stay out of it, which is an interesting state of affairs, because usually they'll try to stop anything Russia does. I'm going to wait a little longer on this just to see how it plays. I think I kind of don't... Ideally, I don't wish to be involved in this situation. I'm a little bit short on authority, so I'm going to cut a consumption tax and hope that that doesn't create itself a problem for me. Escalation is currently halted for a little bit while... because of all those war goals that got added. Neither of them has an overwhelming abundance of maneuvers at present. If I sided with the Saxons, what could I get? Only war goals. Don't know if it's necessarily in my interest to achieve a free Poland, but it sure would be interesting. I could do a transfer subject war goal. Who's holding Herat? Where is Herat? No, I'm confusing with Harar. Herat is over here? Oh my goodness. Herat. Herat. Here. Alright, I was close. I was in the area. I at least had it on the screen. I was looking at the Arabian Peninsula, but... Okay, so Herat is part of the Afghanistan situation. So that territory is currently held by Russia. Okay. Russian-American companies over here. I could steal Alaska. That would be fun. That would be extremely silly. The silliness levels would be off the charts. But I also don't necessarily want... Like, they won't let me get the Baltic governorates. They would let me grab Finland. And that would sure be an interesting affair, but I think I think it would end up being a whole kerfuffle if I tried to take Finland. So I'm going to leave this be for now. I'm going to leave this be for now. France, if you wanted to be better friends, we could have been. Only you and your desire to steal Savoy from me are to blame for this. And Savoy is... Hey, we got a step of progress on the law. Savoy is majority French, but there's a large Italian minority as well. Maybe it's unfair for me to keep this territory, but, you know. It is what it is. We're doing a big nationhood. We're doing a big nationhood. Alright, getting to be down to the wire here. Who's still on the fence? Oh, something changed. Prussia added a war goal of revoking the French claim on North Rhine. Alright, that doesn't seem particularly interesting to me. Once again, France is asking for a return of Rhineland, which I don't know that... Alright, settle down. I'm not going to get involved. I think unless something... Saxony backs down. Interesting. Okay, well, I guess that really sort of solves that question, doesn't it? So, from here, industrial boom. With the recent expansion in both production and consumption of explosives in our country, there has been much debate on whether the military or the industrial sector should have priority. Why should we worry about how much dirt we can move when we should be thinking about how to defend our country? All you care about is starting more wars. We should put this to use for our workers instead. They are more important. We should try to support both industries, extra explosives factory throughput. Give the industrial sector priority, extra coal mines throughput. Give the military sector priority, extra munitions plants throughput. I'm going to give the industrial sector priority. I think having larger supplies of raw materials is really, really useful. What are we short on here in Lombardy? Local prices. What are we in shortage of? We're... Transport, okay. Tools. Alright. Wow. Absolutely no production of a lot of things in Lombardy. Interesting. Are these... Let's look at local prices here. These are all coming from the international market. That's curious. Engines are coming from our market, but are we having a little bit of an issue with explosives in the market? Why are we getting so many? You know what? I have import subventions still on for ammunition. That's what's happening. Let's cut those. Okay, so that was my mistake. So we're gonna put tariffs instead. That's gonna make our explosive industries much more productive. All right, so that was an issue for me. Okay, it looks like most of our explosives are coming from our own market. So we need more explosives. Partially, this is we're changing up the construction sectors. So part of this is this, right? Because we're adding a 10 unit explosives input. How much do we have left? We still have a chunk left. Let's convert one more. Piedmont, the big one. And then what we'll do is we'll queue in a little bit more. So Lombardy, we definitely need more railways. It's not even a question. These railways are fully employed. Let's double the size of them. What else is needed in Lombardy? What else do we have shortages of in Lombardy? Glass. I see. So they're getting a little bit in the shorts, but partially it's just because these are expensive in the market more generally. And then there's a local price impact due to them not being produced here. I could produce tools and engines, but I think both of these are reasonably expensive. So I think it's better to produce more in our market more generally. Let's take a look at the overall productivity of those businesses. I do need more explosives factories. Let's build up a couple in Lazio. Tooling plants are very profitable. Let's build up a couple levels in Lazio. We got quite a few levels, and the private sector is building more. Let's actually double up. And then glass in our market generally has gotten quite expensive, which is interesting. Am I subvening glass? No. But I am preventing it from being exported. I'm not subvening the export of porcelain. Which I could do, which will be quite productive for my market. Let's take a look at my glassworks. Some of my glassworks are not fully employed. And they think they would be more productive if they were producing bone china, but I don't know if that's true. Just on account of, like, so much of our purchases for porcelain are from outside the country. Tell you what, let's subvene porcelain by just a little bit, and that'll make porcelain more productive to produce, and that's going to support a significant increase in the size of the glassworks, because we really need about 50% more glassworks than we've currently got right now. And I know I've got a few in the queue, but there need to be more. So let's build up Venezia. Venezia is a very traditional glass producing location in Italy. It was producing it for a long, long time before anyone else was. We'll build a couple more levels in Savoy and a couple more levels in Lazio. How's Lazio doing for infrastructure? Good on infrastructure, but low on transport. So let's build up 4 levels of transport here in Lazio as well. And I think what we'll do is we'll throw everything under this set of... I goofed it up. Of tooling workshops below the... to the bottom of the queue. And we'll put the railways up before that. And after that, we'll take another pass through and see kind of how we're looking in terms of overall transport needs. I see. This is the number of building levels that are suffering from an input shortage. Okay. This is going a little rough in Sicily. I think we need to build things up here. Sicily needs... So what can we do? They got sulfur mines. They got explosives factories. Explosives factories are a good thing to have. Industry's a little low. So what else can we... Oh. Sweden would like a treaty. We are getting more than half of our ironclads from the market. That's not how this should go. I guess I've only got half of our military shipyards producing. If I go to steel hulls, what's the supply of man o' wars in the market? No, I'm still using man o' wars. I can't do too much more of that, but I will queue in some more shipyards to produce. And in fact, let's... I'm not going to tariff yet, but we'll see. So, Sweden, you want a defensive pact. You want to give me raw cash, and you want investment rights. I don't desire investment rights. This will cost very little. Oh no, it will. Sorry, this is article number, not amount of influence cost. Sweden, what are you... You're not a great partner. But you are doing universal suffrage. Let's negotiate a little bit. I don't desire to invest in you. 70% chance they'll accept this. I think that's reasonable. Wait, hold on. I can't tell what the... Oh, it's Italy to build in Sweden. Okay, no, I don't desire that. What if I allowed Sweden to build in Italy? And then that gets them at plus 40, and what if we increase the amount of cash? There's 7% chance they say yes. Because here's the thing. Am I hamstringing myself in the long run by doing this? Because here's the issue. Other countries building in me is better for me in the short term and increases my standard of living, but it also does get them the profits of those businesses. And my economy is very good, so having other people, my economy is pretty high tech, so having other people building in me drains the. No, I don't. Maybe I'm making a mistake on this. Let's cancel this and. Oop. Okay, hold on. What was the... They wanted a defensive pact. And they wanted to give me money. Yeah, alright. I think this should be fine. I'm gonna throw a little bit more cash in there. 62%. 80%. Let's do it. They didn't want it. Well, it was... Nerds. Can't get them to give me a state. Going to give me a treaty port? No. Law commitment. They're already working on universal suffrage. Their laws are okay. Dang it, I really wanted that. Let's just throw in slightly less money. No, they don't want that. Not enough of an improvement over previous treaty, okay. Okay. Well, whatever. The Great Train Smash. An enterprising entertainer has arranged for two aging locomotives to run into each other at a local fair. The resulting collision may pose danger to the crowd, although that hasn't stopped Josue Samaruko, leader of the landowners, from declaring that he will have a front row seat at the event. For crying out loud, why would you want to see a train crash so badly? Honestly, I believe that somewhere in the makeup of every normal person, myself included, there lurks the suppressed desire to smash things up. Everyone enjoy the spectacle. He gets more popular. Extra loyalists. 90% chance of more loyalists from political movements. 10% chance if he dies and there's 2% of pops become more radical. Or, forbid him from attending. He gets a little salty. Other results are the same except he doesn't die. We'll do the first one. Cool. Seems like we got what we wanted. Things smashed up well? Things smashed up well. Alright, so. I was talking about how we can improve the economy of Sicily. By building things that are useful to my market. Yeah, because I'm sending so much of my porcelain abroad. That's what's making it hard for the glassworks to stay profitable. Is an overproduction of porcelain. So from France, interesting. So let's make Sicily. Maybe we'll make no. We'll get some steel mills, and we'll get some military shipyards, and we'll have Sicily produce our steel-hulled ships. Crooked Connections, a debate event. Frustrated with the lengthy legal process earning private health insurance, Pasquale Pallavicino of the Industrialists has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. A few words in the right ears is all I'm asking for, everything within the bounds of the law, although, of course, I can't guarantee our opponents in this matter will view such actions with much glee. Grant him permission, time is the essence. This is salty Catholic Church. Don't want that, they're already only at +4. Or no, we do this by the book or not at all, extra enactment time. The first one gets us reduced enactment time, the second one gets us increased enactment time. Then I go with the second one. Enactment time is not that big of a deal. Particularly when I've got a righteous government. I don't have a righteous government. Sad. We've eclipsed France in prestige. Perhaps France is... Is France suffering from a humiliation of some kind? No. Okay. Alright. Curious. Anyway, no reason for us to not be friends, France. No reasons for things to be silly. Alright. Now... Oh my goodness. We're actually over... I think this has only been 1 year, friends. Because normally you go for 2 years for an episode. I'll go a little longer. Go just a wee longer. 80 steel mills and 80 glassworks. Steel is still doing okay. We're actually doing just fine on steel. It's glass and explosives that I've completely run amok underproducing. In fact, Sicily has sulfur extraction, so maybe explosives are a good thing to produce here. Where's the... Oh, you know what? But fertilizer plants are the transfer of that, not directly sulfur, right? Do we already have explosives plants? We do. Okay. Let's increase that. So what's the input for these explosives? Okay, they do take sulfur, but they also take fertilizer. So maybe a couple of fertilizer plants as well. Let's just take a quick look at where we are with fertilizer. I am exporting some. It's mildly expensive. Should I become a fertilizer exporter? What's the world market price for fertilizer? World market price for fertilizer is pretty low. Okay, alright. So subvening fertilizer is not really going to benefit me. What's expensive in the world market? It's mostly engines. Well, what's expensive vis-a-vis its main price point? It's still furniture, fish, and clothes. And I can continue to produce all kinds of things of that nature. Let's build up some more light industry in some of our other areas. Road to progress. The industrialists expressed their satisfaction with the direction being taken by the country and its newly built factories. There is only one possible direction: forward. Progress is like a train that doesn't stop, doesn't wait for anyone. You're either in or you're out. We've done this for our people, extra loyalists from political movements for 5 years, or we shall support that train, stronger and happier industrialists. I'm going to say we've done this for our people. We're doing plenty for the industrialists right now. I'm not concerned about it. Getting extra loyalists is good. I really do need to cut taxes at some point, but I just love building stuff. I love building stuff so bad. Let's get these glassworks ahead. Because glassworks are really the thing that's slowing down construction, or the growth of our construction industry. Rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Pasquale Pallavicino, leader of the industrialists, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of private health insurance. Making an appearance before the public in Rome's main square, Pasquale Pallavicino's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across Italy, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. This should ease the path to reform greatly, 15% enactment chance, or performances like this reflect well on Pallavicino and his cause. Extra enactment chance, he becomes more popular and the industrialists becomes stronger. I'm going to do the second one. It's only 10% enactment chance, but it's the long-term benefits, I think, are pretty high, assuming our party structure stays the same as it has been. Because the far left is still... the far left, consisting of the industrialists and the petite bourgeoisie, is still reasonably strong. Declaration of Żytomir. That's us. Oh, a radical movement in Finland. And what's going on over here? Britain wants to steal Hejaz from Egypt. I don't particularly desire to fight the British at present. How's my power block going? We're very close to getting another principal. And I sure would like a second principal. We're very cohesive right now, but I don't have a lot of baseline progress. I got a high rank personally, but I don't have a lot of... I only have 1 power contributing to that. How's Gaza doing? Okay, Gaza's liberty desire is low now. So I'm going to... Oh no, they're already above it. No, it's Zulu. It's Zulu that I've been trying to get. Okay, alright. Sometimes I'm silly. Sometimes I'm very, very silly. Alright, we're going to need increased light industry production. How's our... Population is still going up, which is very, very good. Standard of living is alright. But I gotta get this glass increasing in production because I need to get more glass for my construction sectors. How close are we with our power block? I want to get to the end of this. It's not going to be, well, we'll be in July. It's going to be before the end of the half year, but it is going to be good. Oh, I was thinking about taking a protectorate over Switzerland. Russia could step in, but I don't know if they can do anything about it. Austria can do something about it. Russia, how would you feel about us renewing our defensive pact? If I grant you investment rights, that wouldn't be enough. This question mark, what is that? 0. It's worth nothing. Alright, so I need to sweeten the deal. They want investment rights. I'm not going to give them a company monopoly. Could transfer some goods. No, nothing I overproduce is something they want. No subventions. I've got no subventions on coal. That'd be worth something. No tariffs on coal would be worth something. Okay. Anything else they care about in terms of goods? Clippers? Sure. No tariffs, no subventions on clippers. Stabsolutely, I'll give you that. Any other trade policy that I can sweeten the deal with? Wine. Ooh, I'm a big wine producer. I'm going to put a no subventions article on hardwood and see how much that's worth. 45% chance they say yes to this. You know what? I'll also put a no tariffs policy on hardwood. That'll be fine. It's going to put them at a 55% chance of success. Let's see what they say. Excellent. So, with that having been settled, they are now no longer at a point where they are interested in blocking me on this. So the Austrians might fight, the Saxons might fight. I feel like I can take the Austrians and the Saxons. The British are not. So, let's get ourselves a Switzerland. Alright, anti-Russian lobby. Interesting. Let's increase relations with Russia. Austria's probably almost for sure going to fight us on this. And how close are we to our power block thing? 1 week. Alright, I'm gonna get started with... I'm gonna mobilize everyone. And I'm not gonna raise my If this ends up being a short war with just me and Switzerland, raising the conscripts won't be that expensive. I'm gonna do it. Because I'm gonna need these conscripts going if Austria gets involved in this whole situation to begin with. So let's do that. And we'll see who gets involved. You see, now I've been silly because I was only gonna wait until my mandate. which I do still wish to have. So if I go to External Trade 2, that unlocks the Influential Trade Center production method, which I do want. And then 3 gives us ignores trade advantage from interests. Alright. And then on the other side here, I could get something else. I could get internal trade. I don't necessarily want that. I would love vassalization. Oh, interesting. So they reduced the amount of authority you get from vassals in the current patch. That's really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to need to take some more time to look at these. So I'm going to have to wait on that, because this episode's already way, way over how long it's supposed to be. I'm going to wait until... No, you know what? We're going to cut it here. I can't delay the end of the episode any longer. My nerds, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.